Please welcome Robin.
Got the clicker. There you go. I have handouts of the PowerPoint on the table so you can take notes and take it home with you. And in the back, I have our resource guides and our loan program kind of matrix on one sheet. So I'm with the SBA. What we do is guarantee bank loans. There is no such thing as 100% financing, and there is no such thing as free money. So lenders use us to guarantee the business loans. I'm sorry, I'm a little short here. This is what we did last year in our state, just our state. What I like about this is that this is the number of startups that happened in Wisconsin because of SBA lending and because of our local lenders here that use SBA. This is this year, only through February. Our fiscal years run October through September. And so far, over half of our lending went to startups. And that's what we want to see in Wisconsin. Dane County, I wanted just to emphasize in Dane County, last year's numbers, but more important, this year's where we're at. Over half of the loans just in Dane County are going to start up businesses. Which means the lenders, they love our community, they trust our businesses. This is by industry. This is kind of interesting. We watch this every month fluctuate. But you'll see like the top four for our state. Food service. On my toes. But Dane County, more importantly, the combination of food service in Dane County is the most loans. And that also ranked number one statewide. For Dane County, the second one, the professional, scientific, and technical services, that industry of lending, it ranks 7 statewide, so we know what's going on in Dane County. And the healthcare and social assistance, ranked 3, but number 6 in the state. It's really interesting putting these together per county to see the average, what the community is about, what the county is about. Are they more into food service, construction, manufacturing, or the professional, educational? And again, I think this is our 5th year we're running at a 0 subsidy rate. So there's fees for the loan packages, and this year we're paying the fees for loans up to $125,000 for everyone. But specifically for veterans and their families, for loans, when they use the SBA Express program, which I'll get into, we're paying all the fees for veterans and their families, spouses, up to $350,000. And that's just for veterans and their families. And it has to be 51% owned by the veteran. So the eligibility, the business has to be for profit. We do not lend to nonprofits. You have to have a reasonable amount, of course, to invest in your business. And the value also, if you don't have tangible collateral equipment, we can, the lender can use your invoices as collateral, like the appraisal of what you're going to purchase for a startup business, the current financial statements, they'll go through that for an existing business to see what you have in there for collateral. Sorry. Thank you, sweetie. Hi, everyone.
Whoa!
bigger person, smaller government. Okay, it's really important. Before you approach the lender, make sure all your finances are in order. Make sure there's nothing on the credit report, personally or business-wise. If there is, get it cleaned up. It's important that you let the lender know, either by the letter of intent or your executive summary, how this loan is going to increase your profits, what are you looking for in maturity. Just show that it's important to show how the money is going to increase your profits, or how this is buying a new business is going to show how you're going to repay the loan. How the profits are going to go up. So this is why we have resource partners. Our SCORE offices over on Rosa Road for Madison. Our women's business centers over on South Park Street, and they're for men too. And our small business development centers, which is on the UW campuses. They get partial funding from SBA, and they in turn give counseling for free. The mentorship is free. Some of their classes there's a cost, and then some of the classes also there's a sliding fee, but they're there, use them, they're free. But this is the kind of information that you want for planning to go to the lender. And how much will you need? Make sure you're asking for enough. Don't underestimate your costs. The credit scoring that the lenders and SBA uses, the FICO Small Business Scoring Service. It's SBSS. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but so if you have a current business, what it does is it runs through multiple sources. I think it's over 100 combinations of scoring. I don't have access to this. I can't submit loans through E-Tran. It comes out of our other offices. And then if it comes through not as an acceptable credit score, they'll just submit it a different way because we have a lot of loan programs. This is our flagship program. It's called 7A. I think Congress named it decades ago. I don't know. Why do the lenders use us? And why would it be beneficial to the business? Our terms can go out longer. We can go up to 25 years maturity on real estate and 10 years on working capital. There's no balloon payments. There's no fees to prepay the loan, and the closing costs are always wrapped up. You can always wrap them up to the loan. The most we can lend is $5 million, which means that we guarantee $3.75 million. And usually the terms are structured where it's a monthly payment of principal and interest, and the interest rate will always depend on how the lender presents the loan package, but there's a certain percentage that they cannot go over. Depending on the loan amount, depending on maturity, there's a certain percent that the lender will not go over. So you can use this to acquire land, purchase equipment, redo your property, leasehold improvements, of course the big one, working capital, refinance certain outstanding debts, and acquire everything you can think about. You can do, except we don't lend to, let's say you want to start an apartment complex. No, that's not, it's a business, yes, but it's not one where it's passive. We don't know what the income's going to be. And of course the maturity is fixed. And they also use this when collateral is limited, because we're not a collateral-based lender. And another reason banks use us is because, let's say your business is great, your credit is perfect, you're not going to qualify for an SBA loan. We're there for businesses that are just kind of on the cusp, not quite, the bank's not going to want to take the risk without our guarantee, or you need a little technical assistance. That's why the businesses use SBA, or the banks use SBA to guarantee their loan. So under the 7A program, we have the preferred lender program, the SBA Express, the Veterans Advantage. This is one of our most popular ones, the Express Loan Program, where the lender, we guarantee 50% of the loan. But what's important about this one is the working capital used to be 7-year term. It's now 10-year, and you can extend it right upon the date of the loan. You can extend it. So the working capital can go out technically past 10 years to pay. This is a great one for line of credit. And again, we'll get into the Veterans Advantage, but the upfront fees are waived for them. And the interest rate for SBA Express, this is, if it's under a certain amount, they can go prime plus a percent. You know, it all depends on your financial statements and how well you work with your lender. You negotiate that interest rate with the lender, okay? And we don't require the lenders either to take collateral for loans under $25,000. That's up to the lender if they want to. Veterans Advantage. This uses the SBA Express program. We're paying all the fees for the veterans and their families, which, let's say they took a $350,000 loan. We're saving the veteran over $5,000 in just loan fees that they don't have to wrap up into their loan. And again, it has to be 51% or more owned by the veteran, owned and controlled, or by the spouse. Cap lines. Not used that often, but this is a great program for short-term working capital. And the small businesses for this program are no longer required to pledge personal assets to secure this loan. And the lines of credits are like for small business subcontractors, so they can finance, get that work done for the prime contractor. It's a great program for startups and established businesses both, that might have some credit issues getting that line of credit. So SBA will back it, and the lender will work with you. International trade loans. So the first one, we go up to $5 million. And most of these we guarantee 90%. Exporting is a risky business, and the lenders know that. So SBA will guarantee, this is the only one we'll guarantee 90% of. The international trade, it has to be for international trade. You can use the loan for permanent working capital, equipment, facilities to purchase real estate. The export working capital, it helps the business to negotiate that the export payment terms of whatever they're going to be exporting. They know they have this line of credit, so they can negotiate better with the exporting companies what the payment is, or what the transaction is going to cost. So we use it for exporting, for sales. The Export Express, that one we can go up to $500,000. And the export lenders can underwrite that loan without even SBA approval. They can do it right away and then submit it to us. Basically, they're approving it without our decision. Community Advantage is a great program. It's only a few years old, but they just extended this program. If you've been turned down by a bank and need lending up to $250,000, this is where you want to go. The approval is 5 to 10 days, but what we do is we have community advantage, designated community advantage lenders in the state, and we have 4 or 5. I have them on the next slide. So it helps to meet the credit, the management, but what's really important is that they're there with you for the life of the loan, offering technical assistance along the way, whether it's helping with your financial statements, management issues, accounting, what have you. They're there to work with you for the life of the loan. We like to use this for low to moderate income communities use this. If your staff, if over half of them are low to moderate income, you qualify for this loan. Veterans, women, minorities. And you can use it for working capital and inventory and purchasing commercial real estate, if you can get commercial real estate at $250,000. And you know, a lot of businesses too have combination loans. They'll have two or three different loans that they can use. You don't have to just have one loan program. The lenders are so qualified and so understanding, especially in Wisconsin SBA lending. They'll know what the best loan is for you and the best deal. And that's how they'll work with you. But the community advantage again, another good use for this is the food and beverage industry. There's a lot of lenders, well, the food and beverage industry lenders are, they love them, but some of their board of directors, whatever, don't want them. This is a good loan product to use if you're starting or expanding in the food or beverage industry. So keep that in mind. Oh, this is our community advantage lenders. We have 5 of them. Okay, so for here, the closest one is Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative Corp. I think everyone kind of knows them. They're over on South Park Street. And in the resource guide is all their contact information. 504 program, this is a large loan program where it's mainly used to purchase real estate or build like that new culvers, perhaps a nursing facility, big hotels. These are big projects. So we guarantee the certified development company's loan 100%. They also get a lender on board who lends some of the money, and then the borrower needs to inject. Of course, everyone needs to inject their capital via collateral or invoices. This is a big program. This is how it's structured. If this was to be a $2.5 million loan, let me see if you can see that. 50% is the private lender. Let's say your Wells Fargo or your Summit Credit Union or Settlers Bank. Then we guarantee part of the bank's loan. We also guarantee 100% of the CDC's loan, and then the borrower needs to inject capital too. We have done every Culver's in the state. We have guaranteed. Almost every major hotel in the state we have guaranteed. A lot of nursing facilities we have guaranteed. Microloans, love this program. This is loans anywhere from $500 up to $50,000. What SBA does is we lend money to the nonprofit groups that have applied for them. They in turn lend the money back out on their terms, followed by SBA guidance, of course, and they pay us back their loan. The credit scoring is lower. The collateral terms are lower. Everything is, it's not done by a bank, it's done by a nonprofit. They have more control over the decision of giving you the money. So if you're not bankable, you just need something small, this is the place to go. And they also provide the technical assistance for the life of the loan and beyond. Max terms is 72 months, but they're wonderful to work with. These are our micro lenders, and the two that are statewide, that do statewide lending, Impact 7 and Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative Corp. This is microloans so far. Last year's, this year's so far, there's 49 loans done so far. For almost $1 million, but 27 ones in the startups. There's another way to get to, if you're just kind of tinkling around with, do I need a loan or not, or will anyone give me a loan? You can go right into this site. There's a handful of questions. This is not a hard hit or a soft hit on the credit. And then within 2 days, a lender will contact you or not. They'll say, we're interested in doing this loan, you want to come in and talk. And our counseling services, I have them listed in there. SCORE, the Women's Business Center, and SBDC. They're all in here. Oh, some upcoming events. We'll be over on 200 South Park at the Community Center at the Atrium for the MABI event. Feel free to come, there's going to be a lot of resources there. Strong Women, Strong Coffee. This is, I'm sure a lot of you know Jane Blaine, Farm and Fleet. She is now the sole owner, CEO of Farm and Fleet. She will be the main speaker, it's going to be here, and it's free. And of course, our Small Business Awards. We love our Wisconsin small businesses. We have our award winners. I do not have the list of them, but they will all be getting their awards at a breakfast on May 4th, and there will also be training and counseling there. And then just information on how to keep track of us. Oh, federal contracting, if you're interested in contracting at all, or think you might have something, you wouldn't believe what the government buys. Services and products. This is the person you want to call, it's free. They're funded by the Department of Defense. If you have any questions, you want to help get registered in the system of award management for contracting, this is who you call, Kim. And that's all I have. Do you have any questions? It's a lot to take in. And in the resource guide, there is, it summarizes some of the loan programs, and the loan matrix too summarizes some of the loan programs, but also in the resource guide is local information. There's national, but that book we work on every year is geared just towards Wisconsin. And our new guides are probably going to come out, I don't know, maybe 5 months. There was a new contracts when everything changed over, and so we're waiting for our new guides. No questions?
Great.
It's a lot to take.